Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to Chris's Inked Pens for July 2022. These are the 8 pens that I selected, and I'll be showing you the inks, and I'll also be showing you the ink samples and ink that I bought with a gift card from generous pen friend Mike S. from Illinois. I ordered from Vanness, and it just so happens they threw in 4 from another ink brand, so that's going to be reflected here. I've got quite a few. I think all but 2 are new inks for me to try out, samples. So let's get started. First up is the Lamy Safari, and this is the white and red. I think that's actually what it's called. So I did go ahead and put a broad nib on it. It came, I think, with a fine nib. I like best the broad and the fine nibs from Lamy. And I thought for July, for patriotic, this was just really pretty with the red. Very nice. And then next up is the Platinum 3776 Century Nice with the rose gold. And this has a broad nib on it. And I did use a cartridge because I'm having trouble. I have misplaced my converter for this pen. I think I know where it is, but I can't find the little pen it's in. So anyway, next up is the TWSBI Go in clear with broad nib. These 2 are my favorite because, wow, I've got like some kind of water stains on it, like it dried water splashes. Okay, then next up is same pen, TWSBI Go with a broad nib, but this is in the Sapphire. And I hadn't used these for a couple of weeks and I missed them because they're just super, super handy and comfortable for me to write with. And then next up is the TWSBI Swipe, and this one I did swap the nib, the whole thing. I just took the TWSBI broad nib part of it from the one. Anyway, I have 2 of these, and one is a medium nib. I just switched the whole unit over because I wanted the particular color I chose. I wanted to have the broad nib in the smoke. Now, I love this pen. I really love how it writes. So the writing experience and everything, and how it's so easy to clean and the converter and all. But I have to admit, it's not my favorite looking pen. So I far prefer either the Go or the Eco. So next up is the TWSBI Eco with the blue transparent color, and it does have a broad nib, not the broadest of the TWSBI nibs, but so there's a little bit of variety. But I thought, again, this would be great, the color for the month for July. And then next up is my Jinhao X750, one of my favorite. I have like 3 of these that are my absolute favorite. The pink one, the purple one, and then this one, which is, I think it's just called stainless steel. But I did put a Goulet broad nib on it, so you just can't beat that combination. I just love it. And again, now, not being red, white, and blue, but the silver, I just love it. Okay, then next up is the Opus 88 Halo, which one of my goals for July is to get to do a separate video on this and talk about it, even though it's basically the same as the Coloro, which I've already reviewed. But it's different because of being clear and then having purple is the color on the section. This was a generous gift from a pen friend. I did switch out the nib unit. They screw in and out, and I put in the broad nib unit in this one. So this is just an encouragement to me, not only to write with it all month, but to go ahead and complete my goal of getting a separate video done on it. I hope I'll be successful. So next up, I'm going to show you the little samples I got, and I'm going to just give you a peek into my ink journal, and then we're going to write with these 8 pens. I thought they would explain to you the whole process of how interested I got in all these different inks. So this is how I spent the $50 gift card from pen friend Mike S. And it went a lot further because Vanness sent me 4 ink samples that are put out by Inkebara. And this is a brand new brand to me that I hadn't, seen in letters or I just hadn't had it on my radar. So they put those in knowing how inky I am. And Inkebara is actually from, this ink is made in the Czech Republic. So that's going to be a whole exploration. And then what I had already in my cart that I had kind of dreamed of, but I'd already spent my channel pen allowance and, you know, I was being real good. I wanted this particular one, which is Autumn Forest in the Dominant Industry. Okay, that was a very important call, so I did take it and kept this thing on pause. So I did get the White Lightning ink additive, which I've been interested in for a long time. I just hadn't, I hadn't purchased any. And then I got, as a luxury, I got the little Diplomat Orchid because I couldn't forget about that beautiful pink magenta ink. This is the other bottle I got, which was the Dominant Industry Autumn Forest. Now, Dominant Industry is a brand I got interested in because my pen pal was writing and sent swatches of several that she had tried, and this is made in South Korea, which we'll explore further as I get into each of these. Well, there's a total of 6, but this is a sample I made out of the bottle, and then so there's 6 unique colors to try, and then these 4 are the Inkebara. So let's hop right into the ink journal real quick to show you the swatches I made of these new to me inks, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I had this all set up for for a different angle, so I do have 2 at the bottom that aren't showing, but I'll make sure and move the page in a minute so you can see those too. So the first one is the one that I got in the bottle, is one that I just couldn't stop thinking about after I saw the little swatch from my pen friend. It's Autumn Forest Pearl, and it's shimmer. The shimmer is, look at that beautiful kind of coppery shimmer, but it's a green and it's gorgeous. It's just amazing. Whoops, now I have totally messed up there. I just wanted to show you how the shimmer and the sheen kind of went across that. So I really got more, what do they call it? Zeal, enthusiasm, excitement. I got injected with excitement when I started to explore these. So like I said, there's 6 of the Dominant Industry from South Korea and 4 of the Inkebara, which I think I'd heard of from Inky Rocks, but I mix up my sources sometimes, so I don't want to misspeak. So the next one is Dominant Industry Sunset, which is also a shimmer, and it's a kind of a lavender with shimmer. Oh, for heaven's sake. So that's a little sample, and it's gorgeous. It's got, let me look at that and see if yeah, it's sort of like a very, you can see the shimmer in the bottom of the vial there. I don't even want to speak about it yet because it's so new. It's so new to me I could even say the wrong color name. So next, this is Manuel's favorite out of this whole set, Dominant Industry Earl Grey Tea. I kept trying to call it Industries, or I dropped the industry. Anyway, that's an orange and very pretty, or at least I'd call it an orange. Gotta quit flailing around here. The camera's brightening that up. It looks a lot more burned orange in person, so keep that in mind. The next one is Dominant Industry Royal Azalea. I just love this one. That's this little one here, and as soon as I opened the top of it, I was like, "Ooh, I know I'm going to love that." Okay, and then I'll have to push it up to show you the 5th one on this column, Dominant Industry Lake. That is a beautiful blue. Okay, and then back over to this side where it's the final Dominant Industry, the gray Downpour, and oh, what a pretty gray that is. I really love it. Then next up is Inkebara Pale Violet. It's just beautiful. Let's see. That's this one. And I have inked up with 6 of the new inks, but one of them is a Conklin, so we'll get into that in just a minute. Then next up, Inkebara Sea Blue, which that is one of the ones I chose for this month. I thought that was just gorgeous with that kind of red purpley sheen. And then a lighter blue Inkebara Air. Keep in mind, these four were just put into my order as a little bonus, so I'm going to explore them, and gosh, I would have chosen this one definitely, and this one. And I would not have chosen the final one, Deer Brown, but it's gorgeous. I mean, it's one of those I would have looked at the swatch and said nope, but then when I got it in a nib, I thought, that is really unique and pretty. Is it a green? Is it a brown? It's just really, really pretty. Kind of a, okay, so I don't have the tiles made yet, but I've got them ready, and that'll be a task too that I'll be working on. So let's write with the ones I did ink up. That'll solve the mystery for you of what I decided to ink up. So starting in the new ink journal, which is Bond Travel Gear 68 GSM Tomoe River paper. It's my second one, and we've seen the review on the other book. So far I just labeled it Ink Journal Book 2 because I'm not sure how long I'll be in it, and I'll date it eventually. But I do have my page ready for today, so hopefully that'll help us a little bit. Okay, so here we go. First up is the Lamy Safari white red with a broad nib on it. See how we do. And the ink is the Dominant Industry Royal Azalea. It's lighter than my normal pick, but I really like it. So it's Lamy Safari. Whoops, I hope I'm not jiggling the whole world here. White, red, broad nib, Dominant Industry, Royal Azalea. Oh, I'm shaking everything. I don't normally feel like I do that. Azalea. And let's do a little bit of a... That is really pretty. So it's kind of a soft, well, I would just call it a pink, and it's pretty. I really like it. I wanted the 22 to show, but I don't think that matters. What matters is that we can see where we're writing. Okay. Next up is the Platinum 3776 Century Nice with a broad nib. And I put in it one that I didn't show you today, but I can because I can flip back to it. It is the Conklin Vintage Purple. See, that's why I like to have my tiles, because I can lay the tile on the side as I'm talking about the inks. But I will have for the progress report, so stay tuned. This was sent by Pen Friend CS, and I just couldn't resist it. It's gorgeous. It's just a really pretty pink. And I was pretty sure Conklin would not harm this platinum. So here we go. Platinum 3776 Century Nice. I'm seeing some shading. Broad nib. Conklin Vintage Purple. There must be something about how I've set up. I'm going to try something real quick. I have a weight that keeps, it's like a weight that you lift, like weightlifting, that keeps my setup okay, but I had put it on the wrong side. And Coco's fast asleep right beside me in his chair, so the chair idea has really worked to keep my sanity. But I couldn't stand the jiggling, and I've never really had that. So this is just a really nice, juicy nib. And I'm going to learn not to be afraid of the pen, of cracking it again, because this is a replacement, and I learned not to over tighten the cap on it. Okay, so next up is the beautiful ink I was telling you about, the Deer Brown. Here it is. It is Ikebara Deer Brown. And you know, it is deer brown. If you've ever seen a deer, a wild deer. TWSBI Go Clear broad nib. Oh, that is so nice and juicy. Oops, now I'm not getting... Well, for heaven's sake. My glasses are driving me crazy. I gotta quit doing that because it's only gonna make you seasick. So this is Ikebara Deer Brown. And it is just super juicy. Really nice. Okay. I kind of like doing it that way because then you can really see it. Of course, I get ink all over my thumbs, but that's okay. Okay, and then next up is another TWSBI Go in Sapphire broad nib with a beautiful blue ink. This is Dominant Industry Lake. I can't wait to see the tile on it because just the entry in here was pretty fantastic. Yeah, here it is. See that? It does look like it's got a lot going on. It's just, you know, you could see the color, the different colors kind of trying to come out. So I can't wait to see the ink tile. And for anybody that's new, I'm talking about this, the ink tiles that I make for each ink. And with so many new ones, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. TWSBI Go Sapphire broad. Dominant Industry Lake. Still got some work to do on this set. My goodness. Okay. Whoops. I can't be doing that. I got too much ink on my fingers. Gotta find a clean finger. Totally running out. So this is gorgeous and definitely nice and wet writer and a broad nib. I love it. Okay. Next up is that beautiful Autumn Forest. So this is the one that I most wanted to see, that I had in my cart already when I, you know, got that surprise ink gift card. Yeah, ink card. That's what it was. That's what I turned it into. Okay. So here we go. Beautiful green, kind of a dark, almost a safari green. Oh, and this is, yeah, this has this shimmer. I probably should have paid more attention. Didn't really move it around a lot yet. Let's see if I can do that real quick. I'm not very good about remembering to do that, so I don't always get the most out of my shimmer inks. Okay, so TWSBI Swipe is the pen in smoke with a broad nib. And whoops. Dominant, all of a sudden I can't spell. Industry. Autumn Forest. I love this, and I'm super glad I was able to get a little bottle of it. It'll have to dry before we can even begin to see the shimmer if I shook it enough, and I probably didn't. I'll have to take my time more when I'm writing letters. Okay, so let's move this over a little. So this is the TWSBI Eco in blue transparent, and it has a broad nib on it. And the ink is Inkebara Sea Blue. It's striking. You know, it's just one of those bright blues that is just really pretty. It makes me happy to look at a bright color like that. Blue transparent. Broad. Okay. And Inkebara. Sea Blue. Gonna end up with ink everywhere. Okay, that is gonna be so nice. Yeah, I think you probably can see that it's going on nice and wet. I mostly have broad nibs. Let's see. Oh, I have all broad nibs. Well, I still do have this one inked up, and I didn't put it in the lineup because we already talked about it. But this one has got a fine nib. It's the Lamy Safari. I just refilled it again with. It's the dark lilac, and it's got Vanness Alexander Hamilton. I'm using that for notes, but I just wanted to for purposes of this, I've been able to show you what I'm exploring this month. These are the new ones, so. Okay, and then this is Jinhao X750, the stainless model with a broad goulet nib, which you can't beat that combination in my opinion. It's one of the best. Except when I'm, longing for a demonstrator, then, I do love my demonstrators. So this is Jinhao X750 broad goulet nib, and then in the stainless. Oh, it's pretty. It may look black on the screen. Let's see. But it's definitely to me, it's definitely a gray. Challenge me if you think otherwise, because this is brand new to me. So dominant, and I messed up the M, but that's okay. Industry. Downpour. It's got purple in it. Let's see if I can remember how I knew that. Whoops. Let's grab that entry in the ink journal. Yeah, I probably should have slowed down enough to do all these tiles. I can't remember exactly when I saw, but I could tell there was some purple in it. That was the impression I had. Hopefully I'm speaking right. We'll know more when we do the progress report. Okay, then last but not least is the beautiful Opus 88 Halo in purple with a broad nib unit on it. Let's see if you can see where I am here. Yeah. And this is the beautiful Conklin, I left it over by the sink. But anyway, it's vintage purple. So Opus 88. Halo in broad purple. Beautiful. Oh, no. I'm telling you, completely wrong. We just did that one. Conklin Vintage Purple. It's another purple, but it's Pilot Aroshizuku. Oh, my word. I knew. I thought, well, that's odd. Why am I... Why does it feel like a repeat? Murasaki Shikabue. Uh-oh. I didn't look up the spelling. We'll put SP question mark because I hate to do that without knowing. Okay. When I type it out, I think I had gray on my fingers too, so let's try that again. There's not a single finger that's not inky. There, that's better. We'll put a X there because that looks kind of dark. So this is really nice, and I can tell that this is a nice wet nib, this broad nib that's on here, so it's going to be great. I think this came with a medium, but I'm going to do letter writing, so I switched it for the broad one. Okay, so that's it for new ones, and I have a whole, like literally a container full of pens to clean over by the sink, and I've still got this one going. And a couple of my pocket pens, definitely. I've got 2 Mood Men, but that's not what this is about. This is about exploring some new inks. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the Dominant Industry, and then a Conklin, and I think the Inkebara, there's 2 Inkebaras that I'm checking out. So cool. And then, of course, I already knew about the Pilot Aroshizuku Murasaki Shikabue is a really nice purple. It's not the brightest, darkest purple that I have, but I love it. So I think it's going to be great. I'm actually really excited. Not that I ever really lose enthusiasm for ink, pens, and the hobby, but at times it does sort of, I don't know, get lost or get lowered a little bit by this, that, and the other thing. But definitely trying out new inks is a age-old way for me to get totally invigorated with enthusiasm. So hopefully this will help you as well. And let's hope for a really, really positive July with a lot of good stuff going on. And I will get back with you when I come back on for the progress report, and also when I come on to talk specifically about this pen, because I do have the packaging and information about the collaboration and all that I've been working on. I just hadn't like pushed myself, I guess, or I hadn't, you know, I'd been concentrating on so many varied things. So I will see you in the comments, and I think that's everything. Oh, also I'll be trying this because I can think of a couple instances where I'd like to do this. Most effective when used at concentrations of less than 1%. For use in poor flowing or dry inks. Okay, I've got a few of those, but not very many. It helps that I'm always using broad nibs, but I really have wanted to try this product. It comes highly recommended by many of you, and I appreciate those recommendations. So thank you again for everything, for all the contributions over the last 5 years to the channel. And special thank you to pen friend Mike S. from Illinois. I really appreciate it. Being able to try all these samples and this little bottle. This is a cute bottle. So I will see you next time, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye for now.